Right, on today's video, I'm going to be doing part 2 of my waxwork records collection. If you haven't checked out part 1, go back and give that a watch. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. This is waxwork number 29, and it's the Howlin'. The artwork is done by Francesco Francavilla, which I love his artwork, man. It's so sick. Like, proper comic book style, it's cool. Nice and different as well for waxwork. They don't usually use this style of artist, so it's sick when he gets a cover like. And then that's the gatefold, which is proper sick. And then the back cover, nice little ritual scene, which again, is just sick, man. And then this is the record itself, which is red with like a silver burst in the centre, which perfect colour scheme really in it for the Howlin'. And then that centre label's cool as fuck, man. But yeah, I've got to be honest, I do prefer the score itself than the film, because I mean the effects are unbelievable, but I'm just more of an American Werewolf person myself. I just think that flows much better as a film. But yeah, the Howlin'. Right, this is waxwork number 30, and it's The Exorcist. The artwork's by Phantom City Creative, which they've gone with a nice iconic scene for the front cover, which you can't argue with that. And then this gatefold though, like, mate, how isn't that a waste of a gatefold? Like, I don't think any other artist can pull off what Phantom City Creative do, because anyone else trying that, I probably would say they've wasted that. Like, it's just so much open space. But yeah, Phantom City Creative just nail that so well. Yeah, perfect gatefold really. The pipe sticker was there when I picked it up. It's an eBay pickup. I ideally would have that on a dust jacket, but at least it got kept because it's a sick hype sticker as well. And then you've got this back cover, which is just Spilt Holy Water, which again, that is just simple. That just does the job, but it's such a nice release, man. And then you have liner notes from William Friedkin with some sick artwork as well. And then you've got Pazuzu, of course. But this variant, man, I absolutely love that clear black smoke. It's such a nice variant. But yeah, the score itself is just genuinely horrifying. Like, I picked this up with tubular bells in mind, and yeah, just being honest, I didn't think about the rest of the score because I'd never really noticed it, I'm not gonna lie. And this turned up and it's genuinely terrifying. It just gets under your skin. It's just unnerving. It's everything that The Exorcist as a film is. Like, it just scares the life out of me. And The Exorcist to me is probably the best made horror film ever. Like, it's not my favourite, but it is technically the best made horror film for me. It's incredible. Like, the pacing's perfect. It's, in the world of possession films, it's actually quite subtle, because obviously possession films now are just fucking screaming, over the top CGI, it's just nonsense, absolute nonsense. But The Exorcist is just absolutely perfect. I adore The Exorcist. I've got to say, I do prefer the theatrical cut, because even the introduction of the spider walk is a bit too modern possession film for me. And obviously I know it was shot back then, and I know the reasons why it was cut out, but yeah, the director's cut with that spider walk in, it's just not as effective, man. I like the subtlety that was forced out of removing that scene. But yeah, I just absolutely adore The Exorcist, and Waxwork have killed this release. It's absolutely stunning. So yeah. Right, this is Waxwork number 31, and it's Creepshow 2. The artwork is by Ghoulish Gary Pullen, which if you watch the first video, you'll know how much I love his artwork, so I'll try and keep this to a minimum. But yeah, that front cover is just stunning, man. And then you've got that first one, which is cool, but then look at that. Sick, man. Artwork's stunning. And then you've got this back cover, which is the 3 stories of the comic covers, like very EC comic style artwork. And then you've also got like the little cutouts, which was at the back of comic books, which is so cool, man. Such a sick idea. But this is the variant I got, which is the Raft, which, look at that. Anytime there's like a coloured splodge in the middle of a clear record, I love that style of variant. Halloween 3, which Mondo put out, has got it as well. And it's so sick, man. That centre label as well is cool. And then you've got that one there, and that one there. But yeah, I've got a proper soft spot for Creepshow 2. I love it. I seen it before the first one, purely because HMV didn't have the first one and they had that one in. But I absolutely love Creepshow 2. And Waxwork killed this release. So yeah, Creepshow 2. Right, this is Waxwork number 34, and it's The Burbs. The artwork is by Vance Kelly, which I haven't seen much of his artwork on records, but I've got a few of his prints and his work is absolutely stunning. I'll show you the gatefold last though, because it's sick. You've got that front cover, which is nice, just like the house on top of the skull. Then you've just got a nice overview of the suburb. But then, come on. Proper satanic and metal. It's so sick. And then you've got a nice little 12 by 12, which again is just like skull inside the house peering out into like the suburb, which is just absolutely perfect. And then you've got, this is the variant, which is like a blue and white marble. That centre label, sick, mate. And then you've got that one, again same variant, blue and white, but got a nice little 666 as well. But yeah, I love The Burbs. I only seen it like a few years ago, and it's such a classic 80s film, and it feels so 80s. It's amazing. And this is a stunning score as well. I think it's by Jerry Goldsmith. Absolutely stunning score. So if you can get hold of this release, definitely pick it up, because it's just Waxwork have absolutely nailed it. It's just an all-round great release, like. But yeah, The Burbs. Right, this is Waxwork number 40, and it's House and House 2. The artwork is by Ghoulish Gary Pullen, which I do love that artwork, but I think House is probably the only release that I'd want OG artwork on, because the hand ring and the doorbell is such an iconic image. It's literally one of my favourite images in horror. It's sick that he got a little take on the hand holding the house though. It's a clever approach to it, like. But I think OG artwork, or his take on OG artwork, would have been great for that release. Now you've got that back cover there, which is ridiculous. But mate, wait till you see this gatefold. Come on, that is absolutely ridiculous. That is such a stunning gatefold. Yeah, I don't think you're going to find a better gatefold than that on a release, to be honest. That is absolutely stunning. And then this is the record, which is doorbell is that centre label. It's just like a clear blue. And you've got that, and then that's that centre label. That's got more of a clear release, really. It's just got slight bits of blue. I don't know if that's purposeful or that's just the way it was pressed, but yeah, sick release, really good score, really. It's Harry Manfredini as well, which is mad, because just letting him do something that's not Friday the 13th is a bit mad, and I'm not sure how much more he's done other than the Friday the 13th scores. But yeah, great release, definitely worth picking up. House. This is Waxwork number 48, and it's The Turtles. The artwork is by Kevin Eastman, which obviously it makes sense why they got him to do it, but I just love the fact that they got him to do it. It's so good, man. Such a sick cover. You've got that gatefold, which is quite chaotic, but yeah, comic panels is a sick shout, to be honest. And then you've got that back cover as well, which, mate, I absolutely love The Turtles. And then you've got hype sticker. Come with a postcard for the film as well, which is sick. That's the first time I've seen Waxwork do that, to be honest, and start including that more, because that's a sick shot. And then you also get that beauty as well, which is just stunning, absolutely stunning. Like I say, it makes total sense why they got Kevin Eastman to do it, but I just love the fact that you get his artwork on this release. And then this is the variant, which this was the latest repress, and they just went all in. I mean, I'm guessing it's like Pizza Turtles variants, I don't know, but yeah, absolutely stunning. That centre label's pizza, and then you have this and a manhole cover for that centre label, which that's sick as well. But I only picked this up really for nostalgia for the Turtles in general. Like I don't really remember the score from that film. I just seen this release and that variant's stunning, and the Turtles was like the first thing I collected as a kid, so I just needed to have this in my collection, like. And when it turned up, it's way more serious than I thought it was. It's like a noir film score. It's very dark, and yeah, it's way more serious than I thought it would be. But it's actually a great score, to be honest. So this is one you should definitely pick up, and it's only just been repressed as well. This is quite new, so you shouldn't have too much trouble picking it up. But I definitely recommend it because the packaging and everything's great, but the actual scores are banging as well. So yeah, definitely get onto that. The Turtles. This is waxwork number 51, and it's George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. The artwork is by Butcher Billy, which doesn't do much for me, to be honest. Yeah, it just doesn't really work. But it's not my style of artwork though. So you've got that front cover, that back cover, which is, yeah, nice and simple. And then that's the gatefold there, which, if you like that style of artwork, I imagine that's a sick gatefold. But yeah, it's just, I don't know if it's like too pop arty or something, but it just doesn't hit. I don't know why. And then you've got little hype sticker there. But this is the 12 by 12 print you get, and I actually really like that artwork. I think that works really well. So yeah, that's a sick little print. Now this is the variant I got, which is so sick. It's like a pink fleshy colour. Then that's the centre label there, and then you've got same label that side, but I love that centre label. That works so well for me. In terms of the score itself though, like, I was after this release for so long, so when this was announced it was getting repressed, I was pretty hyped because I've waited ages. They didn't repress this for so long. But I've got to be honest, like, I'll throw Day of the Dead on all the time. If I'm going to grab a Romero score, it's just Day of the Dead. So this doesn't get listened to half as much. I mean, obviously we've all heard Dawn of the Dead, like, it's a great score. But yeah, I just always pick up Day of the Dead. So this doesn't get listened to half as much as I thought it would, which is, yeah, it's quite surprising. Like, but it's a sick release, and obviously it's Dawn of the Dead, isn't it? You've got to have it in your collection. So yeah, Dawn of the Dead. Right, this is waxwork number 53, and it's Dario Argento's Inferno. The artwork is by someone called Malleus, which I'm not too aware of their work, to be honest. It's nice and different what they've done though. I haven't seen waxwork put out a release with artwork like in this style, so it is nice and different. But you've got that front cover, and then you've got that back cover, and then that's your gatefold there. And then this is the variant really, which is absolutely glorious, mate. And then side C and D. But yeah, Inferno was the first Argento film I actually seen. And there was an old place in Liverpool called the Small Cinema Club, which was amazing. I've seen so many good films there. But they had a double bill with Blood and Black Lace, and then Inferno. I think that was the double bill. And I'd never seen any of them, so to see both of them films in like a cinema setting was just absolutely incredible. It was special, man. And it's probably my favourite Argento film. I know it's not his best work, I'm not saying that, but I think because of the setting I first seen it and that whole experience, like, yeah, it's a special film, that. And I love the score as well, because it's quite like a weird dream-like film, and Keith Emerson nailed that tone perfectly. It's like a lot of tinkly pianos, and it's very orchestral. It's quite unique for Argento, really. But yeah, it's a great film. No doubt you've seen it, like, but if you haven't, definitely check it out, because it's incredible, like. But yeah, Inferno. This is waxwork number 63, and it's Black Klansman. The artwork is by Aesthetic Apparatus, which it fits the tone of the film perfectly. You've got that back cover there, and then that's your gatefold, which is quite cool. And then you've got this little 12 by 12, which is nice. And then this is the variant, which the variant is absolutely stunning. So you've got that, which I love how 70s that looks. It's so cool, man. And then you've got that centre label. But yeah, the score was the standout of this film for me. Like, I do love the film's sick, like, but the score was like really stood out. Literally, I think as soon as it finished, the credits were still rolling and I was on Discogs trying to find this, and then to find out it was put out by Waxwork as well, because I didn't even know that. It was, yeah, that was an easy pick up, and it's an absolute banger of a score as well. Definitely grab it if you get the chance. But yeah, Black Klansman. This is Waxwork number 68, and it's John Carpenter's Escape from New York. The artwork is by Mark Aspinall, which he's absolutely smashed it. The artwork on this release is glorious. I love that back cover, man. That back cover is so good. Well, actually, it's all one thing, but yeah, absolutely stunning. And then that's the gatefold. But yeah, you also get like a 12-page booklet, which got Carpenter there, the main man, Kurt Russell, and you've got, it's just like just stills from the film, like, but mate, the attention to detail that's gone into this release is absolutely stunning. And then this is the variant I've got, which is again just absolutely stunning, innit? I've said that about 9 times, but it's true. That centre label's cool as well, like the timer. And then you've got that there, and that centre label. But yeah, I did have the Silver Screen Records release of this, and that's got dialogue on. Now, off the top of my head, I can't remember if this has got dialogue on, but I mean, even so, like, this release is way superior just because of the attention to detail that's gone into it. It's absolutely stunning. And I think the fog come out at the same time, and the work I've put into that as well is absolutely outrageous. Like, so I need to get up that. I haven't picked that up yet, but yeah, Escape from New York, stunning release. This is Waxwork number 81, and it's Child's Play. The artwork is done by Phantom City Creative, which I wasn't aware this was Phantom City, to be honest, and they've absolutely nailed it. That's your front cover there, that's your back cover, which I love how gritty and gnarly Chucky looks there. He looks so good. And then you've got that gatefold, which Phantom City just doing what they do best. They absolutely kill a gatefold every time. And then you have Side A, which, just look at that variant, man. That is absolutely stunning. And then you have Good Guy label, exactly what you need it to be. That's perfect, that. And then you have this absolute beauty, which, that's one of the nicest records I own. That is absolutely incredible. There's so much going on with that pressing. And then Side D is a Chucky label, which is absolutely perfect, isn't it? It's just all it needs to be. But yeah, I'll just talk about True Crime a sec. It's quite an interesting tie-in with Child's Play in Liverpool, and it's the case of James Bulger, which, if you haven't read, like, read with caution because it's absolutely horrific. But James Bulger was 2 at the time, and he got kidnapped by 2 10-year-old lads called John Venables and Robert Thompson, and they got him from Bootle Strand, took him, I think it was like a few miles away, took him to a canal or a railway line and tortured and killed him. But they actually cited Child's Play 3 as where they got their ideas of what to do to him, and it's absolutely horrific. So growing up, I think that was 93, and growing up, Child's Play weren't allowed in our house, and I think a lot of families felt like that in Liverpool just because of what happened and how close to home it was and stuff. So it was almost banned in Liverpool, really. I know a lot of the video shops wouldn't sell it and stuff, but it's, like I say, if you're not aware of that case, just, like, read with caution because it's absolutely horrendous. It's one of the most heartbreaking things you'll ever read, really. And John Venables is back in Nick now for indecent images of kids, which, I mean, as if the first crime didn't say all you need to know, that sums it up, doesn't it? Absolute scumbag. But yeah, Waxwork absolutely smashed this release. This is genuinely one of the nicest Waxwork releases, and the score is incredible as well. Yeah, Child's Play. This is Waxwork number 83, and it's Lost Cues the Thing. The artwork is by Phantom City Creative, which, yeah, they've smashed that. That's your front cover. That's your back cover, which I love that image of Max Shack. That's so good. And then that's your gatefold, which is absolutely superb. I love that gatefold so much. And then this is the variant I ended up with, which I'm not sure if this is a Waxwork release or a Sacred Bones release, because they both put it out and they both put out quite a few variants. And I didn't actually pick this up. This was gifted to me by Tin Man from Splattered Plastic. Now, if you're into film scores and vinyl, get over to Splattered Plastic, man. It's such a good channel. It's just like deep dives on films and the scores that accompany the films. But you get so much knowledge, and it's such a deep dive on the film. And the both of them are sounds as well, Liam and Tin Man. So yeah, definitely check out that channel, and nice one, lad. I appreciate this. But this is just 4 tracks re-recorded by John Carpenter, Cody Carpenter and Daniel Davis. But it's a great little release, to be honest, and I'm so happy I didn't miss out on this, because yeah, it's a great release. Lost Cues. This is Waxwork number 85, and it's The Bride of Frankenstein. The artwork was by Phantom City Creative, which I mentioned in the first video that this release was coming up, and the detail I was talking about was the strip of white through the hair is the doctor working on the bride, which is, I mean, that is absolutely genius, mate. That's a stunning front cover, that. And then you've got this back cover, which is, again, just them grey tones are just stunning. But this gatefold though, mate, like, come on, that is absolutely gorgeous. That's such a classic, lovely image, man. Yeah, I absolutely adore the artwork on this release. Waxwork said you get a 4-page booklet, which, I mean, you get that, and then a back cover. So I mean, there's 4 sides. It's not 4 pages though. It's definitely not 4 pages. And then this is the variant, which is like a bluey, purpley marble through the white, but it's just stunning, mate. This score is just exactly what you'd expect it to sound like. They all sound very similar. The old Universal stuff, it's all just very dramatic, very orchestral. So this pickup was purely based on the artwork that Phantom City done, which is, again, it's just absolutely gorgeous. The score's sick, like, it's nice. But yeah, this was more for the artwork, to be honest, because the release as a whole is just stunning. But yeah, Bride of Frankenstein. This is Waxwork number 89, and it's The Lord to Salem. The artwork is by Robert Samelin. And I absolutely adore this release. This is actually my favourite Rob Zombie film as well. It's so strange, man. I think if this didn't have as much backlash, you probably would have a more interesting filmmaker in Rob Zombie, because he'd take more risks. But since this flopped so heavily, and the Halloween stuff, he's just gone back to just his formula, which is like white trash, just poorly written films, really. But I think, like, if he would have went more in this direction and this would have been received better, I think you'd have a well better filmmaker, because I think this is such a good film. But yeah, this is the front cover, which the artwork is stunning. That's your back cover, and then this gatefold is incredible. So good, man, and you get so much with this release as well. Waxwork really went in. That's your height sticker there. But you've got, this is your booklet, which is just stills from behind the scenes, really. 16-page booklet, which is pretty sick. Yeah, there's some great shots in here. That one specifically is amazing. And that one as well, that's so good. And then you've got that back cover as well, which is your cheesy 70s DJ. So good, man. And then that's the first art card, which is unbelievable. It's proper heavy, that, mate. Oh my god, I've just seen the priests are just having a little go on themselves, which is, that's quite heavy, that, to be honest. I haven't actually properly looked at that. That's a proper heavy art print, that. And then you've got this, which I think this might be a dust jacket. Yeah, that's one of the dust jackets. But that's such a good image as well. And then you get a black metal album, which is actually sick as well. It's like an absolute banger. That's your centre label, but there's an etching on this one, which I don't know if you're going to get that, to be honest, but hopefully that's picking it up. But yeah, that's really sick. And then this is the soundtrack as well, which, I mean, just look at that disc, man. This is another one that Waxwork just went proper all out on, because that is an unbelievable release. You get so much with that. But yeah, like I say, I love Lords of Salem. I think it's Zombie's best film, definitely. And the soundtrack's proper fun as well, because that's what Rob Zombie does well. He just picks good 70s songs, don't he? Let's be honest. They are all just 70s rock hits, but they work really well. But yeah, Lords of Salem. This is Waxwork number 90, and it's Edward Scissorhands. The artwork is by Ruiz Burgos. Now, that's your front cover, which is absolutely stunning. But I just love the fact that he's included Vincent Price, because that's so good. And then that's your gatefold, which is actually a nice contrast from the front cover and back cover, because it reflects the film pretty well. That's a great idea, that, really. Now, this is the art card you get with it, which is stunning as well. Really nice work, that. And I haven't seen much of his work, to be honest, but that's really nice. And then this is the variant, which is absolutely glorious. I love that variant. I actually had to send my first one back because there was loads of surface noise, but Waxwork was sound about it, and sent this out, and this is a perfect present, to be honest. So it was just like a one-off issue, like. As far as the film goes, though, like, I used to love Edward Scissorhands as a kid, like, but I don't like it that much now. But the score by Danny Elfman, this is probably my favourite score he's done, and he's like quite a nostalgic composer for me, because I watched a lot of Tim Burton stuff growing up. So yeah, Danny Elfman is just very nostalgic for me, and this score is just beautiful. It's such a stunning score. But yeah, Edward Scissorhands. This is Waxwork number 116, and it's Killer Clowns from Outer Space. The artwork is by Ruiz Burgos. I've literally just said I don't recognise their work, but yeah, literally very next release. But yeah, absolutely killed this release. The artwork on this is absolutely stunning. That's your back cover, which is perfect, but this gatefold, though, come on, that is absolutely stunning, mate. And then you get this art card, which is, again, sick. And then this is the cotton candy and popcorn variant, which, nice pink record. Swirl centre label, and then the yellow is the popcorn, and then that centre label is popcorn. But yeah, this is a great score and soundtrack, to be honest. That Killer Clowns intro is just boss in it. So much fun, Killer Clowns. I absolutely love that film, so I was pretty hyped that Waxwork for putting this out there. But yeah, great release, Killer Clowns. This is Waxwork 117, and it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. The artwork is by Robert Samuelin. Now, he's absolutely killed that front cover. That is unbelievable. And then you've got Stretch swinging the chainsaw from the end scene, which, again, perfect back cover. But then this gatefold, you should be able to guess what it is, and it absolutely is that scene, and it's perfect for the gatefold. It's so good. And then you've got the dinner scene as an art print, which is sick. And then I think this was called the Chainsaw Blood variant. But then you've got another iconic scene as the centre label where Stretch is in the ice bath. And then you've got that one there, and then Chop Top, which, the more I watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, the more I dislike it. Like, I did used to love it, and it seems like every viewing I have of it, it gets a little bit worse, unfortunately. But I picked this score up on Facebook Marketplace because the scene was split. It was like a tenner or something, so I added it, and it's actually a banging score, to be honest. But yeah, because I don't really love the film no more, I chose not to pick this up until I seen it for such a great price, like. And yeah, I'm happy I grabbed it, to be honest, because it's a good release, like. But yeah, Texas Chainsaw 2. This is waxwork number 118 and it's Carrie. The artwork is by Phantom City Creative, which that front cover is so good, man. And that's your back cover, which is so sick. And then the running theme with Phantom City is a great gatefold, and they do not disappoint with that one. That is absolute perfection. That is unbelievable. And then this is the variant, which is so sick, man. The labels are just reverse colour like, but that's stunning, that orange. And then this has got more red in it, which I'm not sure if that's just like a purposeful choice or that's just my variant, but that is absolutely unreal. Such a stunning release, and it's quite a weird score as well. It's great though, but yeah, Carrie. This is waxwork number 157 and it's Sleepy Hollow. The artwork is by Steve Reeves, which he's absolutely killed. That front cover, that's stunning. And then back cover, nice idea, I really like that, to be honest. But then this gatefold though, I just love like the way the red is the only colour, everything else is just like black and grey. Such a nice colour scheme for this release. Nice waxwork sticker, which I'm keeping hold of because I've put that on me stationing work. Kind of regret that, I should have kept hold of them really. So I'm keeping hold of them from now on. And then this is a nice little art print of the symbol, which is cool. But then this is the variant, which, just look at that, man. That is absolutely gorgeous. You've got that centre label as well, which is the bird, and then of course the cage in the other side, which is so clever, man. Such a great idea for the centre labels. And then it's the same on this present really. Bird that side, cage that side. But yeah, I wanted this to get released on vinyl for so long because this is one of my favourite Danny Elfman scores. Like I say, Danny Elfman was just like my childhood really. I watched Sleepy Hollow especially so much. I used to put that on most nights before bed, so that score was just ingrained in me, and it's an absolutely stunning score as well. It's just unbelievable, so I was very happy that I got this treatment because it's the treatment it deserves. It's absolutely unreal, and it's definitely one of Tim Burton's better films as well. I adore that film. But yeah, Sleepy Hollow. Right, this is waxwork number 168 and it's The Ring. The artwork is done by Matt Needle, which, yeah, that front cover is exactly what you need it to be really. That's all it could have been, I think. And then you've got that back cover, which I really like. But I think the gatefold is a good example of what I was talking about with Phantom City Creative, because that is very simple and I just don't think that works. And I think that's a good example of like how well Phantom City Creative do that style, because yeah, that just misses for me. It's just a load of open space and it doesn't really work, whereas that doesn't happen when Phantom City Creative are doing that. So I think that's a good example of that, to be honest. Your hype sticker there, and then you've got liner notes there. It's pretty cool. I haven't actually read them, so I'm not sure what it consists of really. And that's your back, yeah. And then this is the variant. Now I love that first disc. The colour on that is so good. And I love the way the centre label has no edge on that, so it just goes into the record. Like, I think that's such a good detail. I love that colour though as well. It's like a greeny grey, like, oh, it's so good, man. And then this is disc 2, which is like a black static, I'm guessing. But yeah, that's such a nice release, man. And again, this is one I initially passed on, and then it came up for a good price, so I grabbed it. And it's Hans Zimmer in it, so it is a stunning score, like. But yeah, I'm happy I added this to the collection. But yeah, The Ring. This is waxwork number 177 and it's Evil Dead Rise. The artwork was done by Steve Reeves and he's absolutely nailed it. That front cover is absolutely stunning, mate. And then you've got that back cover, which it's nice and simple, but it does the job perfectly. It's just lift buttons with Ellie's shadow, which is great, man. But this is the money shot though. Just look at that gatefold, man. Pages from the Necronomicon, which is an unbelievable shelf. So good, man. And then that page specifically is like gnarly as fuck, mate. just getting ripped apart. It's so good. And then you've got that set of pages, which is, again, just unbelievable. This is my only point of contention with this release. I don't think this works. It looks like a different artist has done it, to be honest. It's like, reminds me of the Dawn of the Dead, Butcher Billy art. But yeah, I just don't think that works for me, man. And then when you see the second dust jacket, it kind of just highlights it. Because, like, they go back to the Necronomicon pages, which is like, why wouldn't that dust jacket just be 2 more pages? Because that's the winner, isn't it? The Necronomicon pages, definitely. But yeah, it's a small point of contention, obviously. But yeah, that seems like an odd choice for this release, because everything else is like an absolute 10 out of 10. It's an unbelievable release. But yeah, that just doesn't hit the mark for me at all. But it is what it is. And then you've got that variant, which, just look at that swell, man. That's side A. Side B, which is the label from the record and the film, which, again, it seems like a gimme, but I'm very happy Waxwork went with that, because it's a nice touch, man. And then side C and side D, which, again, that record is just absolutely glorious. I did really like the score to this as well, when I walked out the pictures. Like the film as well. The film's a lot of fun. I am expecting that rating to drop a little bit, just because I think I might be caught up in the hype a bit. But the score itself is great though. I've listened to that plenty of times. So this release was a no-brainer, and Waxwork absolutely killed it. But yeah, I'll call it there, because this is the last release in my collection. But yeah, Evil Dead Rise. Right, that was my whole Waxwork Records collection over the 2 videos. I've got to say, I didn't realise I had that many as well, so that was a nice surprise, to be honest. Still a few gaps that I need to fill, like, but the bulk of the main releases that I want I actually own, which is sick, like. I've also got the Funhouse on the way, so I'll do an unboxing for that when that turns up, because that looks an incredible release, man. And that's one of my favourite Tobe Hooper films. I think that's probably his best film, outside the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, obviously. So when Waxwork announced that last year, I was proper hyped. And also, they've started teasing that Depression 7 as well, which I can't wait to have that. They were the 2 releases announced for last year's subscription that I was like really hyped about picking up. So yeah, I can't wait to add them to the collection. But yeah, I'll call that video there anyway. If you did enjoy it and fancy subscribing, that would be massively appreciated. Or if you want to share it around, that would be appreciated as well, because obviously it's a new channel. And yeah, see you next time. Nice one.